Hello students. In the last class, I explained about the site of photosynthesis. That means where exactly the process of photosynthesis is taking place in the plant. In that lecture, I explained about photosynthesis. It takes place in the leaf of the plant. In the leaf, it takes place in the mesophyll tissue of the plant. Again, in mesophyll tissue, it takes place in the chloroplast. Again, in the chloroplast, light reaction it takes place in thylakoid membranes, and dark reaction it takes place in the stroma of the chloroplast. So this all details I explained in the previous class, and today's class I am going to start about mechanism of photosynthesis. That means exactly how this photosynthesis process is taking place, that all the details I am going to discuss today. Now, photosynthesis is basically an oxidation and reduction reaction which takes place between water molecule and also carbon dioxide. For example, removal of protons and electrons from water, it is considered as oxidation process. It takes place in light reaction, whereas joining of these protons and electrons to carbon dioxide, that takes place in the dark reaction. So this reduction and oxidation process only we are describing it as photosynthesis. For example, I mentioned it so clearly. देखो, either carbon dioxide it is getting fixed to this to the form of glucose C6H12O6. This is considered as a dark reaction, that you are calling it as a reduction, whereas this water molecule it is getting disassociated to protons and electrons, and which results in the release of oxygen, and that it comes under light reaction, which is considered as oxidation process. So photosynthesis is a cumulative form of both oxidation and also reductions. Now, such a big process, big mechanism, photosynthesis is basically divided into two steps. The first one is the light reaction and dark reaction, and both the reactions are very big. Minimum each reaction, this light reaction के लिए 3 दिन लगेगा, whereas dark reaction के लिए भी 3 दिन लगेगा. Let us see. We will explain in a very detailed and a very slow manner so that everyone can understand. Let us start the first reaction, that is light reaction. uh, yes, this is light reaction. Let us take the introduction of this light reaction. Light reaction is also called as photochemical reaction. The reason for this is, in light reaction, the water molecule in the presence of light it also consisting of some energy. For example, if you take sun propagates its light in form of light rays, and if you observe that light rays, in that light rays you can be able to see small packets of energy. That small packets are called as photons, and again every photon inside it consisting of some amount of energy. The amount of energy that is present in the photon is called as quantum energy, or you can call it as radiant energy, whatever it is flexible to you, that you use it. There is no problem. You can use quantum energy, or you can also use radiant energy. A very short recap I'll give so that you can clearly understand. Sun sun it propagates its light in form of light rays. Point number 1. Point number 2 is, in that light rays you can be able to see small packets of energy. That small packets are called as photons. Point number 3 is, again in that photon you can see some amount of energy packed, and this energy that is packed in the photon it is called as quantum energy, or you can also call it as a radiant energy. Hope you understood. This energy it utilizes, that means in the light reaction that energy it will be utilized. By utilizing that energy, the water molecule it breaks. How? When the water molecule it is breaking down, it results in the formation of some protons and some electrons, and this oxygen it comes out. So the chemical reaction it is taking place in the presence of the light energy. That's why it is called as photochemical reaction. Now you understood, I think so, but still if you have any doubts, please ask me, I will answer it. Now the second one I need not to tell you again, because I already told you just now. This light reaction it is completely depending upon the quantum energy. Just now I told quantum energy means the amount of energy that is present in the photon. Photon means what? These are the energy packets that are present in the light rays. Hope you recollected it just now. 5 minutes back only I explained. As this light reaction, it is completely depending upon the quantum energy. That's why it is called as a light dependent reaction. It is depending upon quantum energy. That means quantum energy it is coming from whom? Light only. That's why it is called as light dependent reaction. This is the second one. First name is photochemical reaction. The explanation I have given. And the second other name is light dependent reaction. This is just now I explained. Hope you understood. Whereas this light reaction was explained by Robin Hill, because he explained this light reaction it is also called as Hill's reaction, because he explained it. That's why he gave his name. So Hill's reaction. Where exactly this light reaction takes place? The answer for this question is it occurs in the thylakoid membranes. Why it takes place in thylakoid membranes? This is a very important question. Everyone should know the answer for this. The reason why the light reaction it is taking place in thylakoid membranes is, actually, if you cut the thylakoid membrane, again thylakoid membranes consisting of small molecules, very minute molecules, and that molecules are called as photosynthetic pigments. That means if you cut the chloroplast again it consisting of small sac like structures. This all points I already explained in the last class. If you are having any doubt, again go back to my last class, just check it, then you will automatically you will recollect all these points. That means again the chloroplast it consisting of small sac like structures, and each sac like structure it is called as thylakoid. Now you take one thylakoid and again you cut this thylakoid. In the thylakoid again you can be able to see small molecules, and these molecules are called as photosynthetic pigment molecules. And these photosynthetic pigment molecules, they have a capacity. What is that? They can be able to trap the sunlight, because the light reaction need light energy. So if it wanted to get that light energy, it needs something to trap it, and that something which trap the light energy is nothing but photosynthetic pigments. As photosynthetic pigments are present in the thylakoid membranes, light reaction is also taking place in thylakoid membranes. Hope you understood, students. This is an important point, so please remember this. Otherwise you will confuse why light reaction it has to takes place only in thylakoid membranes, दूसरा जगह में it can't take place. That doubt should not be there in your brain. Okay, where in this reaction one of the very important point I'm telling you, you have to remember this point. In the light reaction the oxygen is released because of the breakdown of the water molecule. And this particular point it is already asked in your NEET exams also, so you have to remember this point. And because of the light reaction, the assimilatory energies, the assimilatory powers like ATP and also NADPH2s are released. So that is the output of the light reaction. So this is a normal introduction of the light reaction. Now light reaction के लिए क्या चाहिए? Just now 5 minutes back only I told you, light reaction के लिए photosynthetic pigments, because photosynthetic pigments only they can be able to trap the sunlight. That's why the first topic of the light reaction is photosynthetic pigments. What is basically a photosynthetic pigment? Photosynthetic pigments are molecules. That molecules, they have capacity to absorb, that means they have ability to absorb the light at a specific wavelength of the visible light. That means visible light which is ranging from 400 to 700. Now this visible light may, for example, chlorophyll A has one capacity to, that means it can be able to absorb the light which is present in the visible spectrum up to some extent. Chlorophyll B, it consisting of its own capacity. Carotenoids, it is having its own capacity. Phycobilins, it is having its own capacity. Like that, every molecule has its own capacity to absorb the light of the visible light. That means, I'll tell you, we are all students. I'm not student, मैं बहुत बुड्ढे है, so I'm not student, I'm a teacher. So you are all students. Now I am telling the same lesson. The photosynthetic pigment is the same lesson I am teaching to everyone. But some students, while I am teaching only, they will understand because their grasping power is a little sharp. Now, some students, they expect when sir will again repeat the point. After a repeat, they will understand better. And some students, they will expect the teacher will repeat two more times. That means we are you all are students. I am teaching the same lesson. This lesson, photosynthetic pigment lesson, you compare with sunlight. Same sunlight it is coming, but every student, you compare every student with photosynthetic pigment. Now every student, it is having it, they are not having the same capacity to absorb the lesson at the same wavelength. Some, they understand in one stretch, in one go they can understand every point what I teach, whereas some students, they expect again sir will revise and then I will understand. And some students, again sir, two three times when I repeat, then they will understand. That means their understanding levels में थोड़ा आगे पीछे होता है. Like that, photosynthetic pigments, every pigment वो एक एक what I call energy, एक एक level पे it can be able to absorb the sunlight. Now you understood now what is photosynthetic pigment, where the photosynthetic pigments can be separated, because photosynthetic pigments are many types na, chlorophyll, carotenoids, phycobilins. Now if you wanted to separate them, to separate these photosynthetic pigments that are present in the thylakoid membranes, you have to use a technique called as paper chromatography. This is a best technique by which you can be able to separate various photosynthetic pigments that are present in the thylakoid membranes of chloroplast. Now, one of the important point you need to understand, what is that, both eukaryotes and prokaryotes, they consisting of photosynthetic pigments, but they are different. That means prokaryotes are having some different types of photosynthetic pigments, whereas eukaryotes are having some other type of photosynthetic pigments. So this is one of the important point you need to understand. Now these photosynthetic pigments, they are usually of three types. Why I used usually, there are some exceptions, definitely I'm going to explain it. So these photosynthetic pigments are of three types. What are they? Chlorophylls, next one is carotenoids, and the third one is phycobilins. Now let us take what are exactly these. Now if you take plant pigments are basically of two types. The first one is photosynthetic pigments and the second one is non-photosynthetic pigments. And photosynthetic pigments, they're again of two types. The first one is fat soluble photosynthetic pigments and the second one is water soluble photosynthetic pigments. Again, these fat soluble photosynthetic pigments are of two types. The first one is chlorophylls and the second one is carotenoids. Chlorophylls, very important photosynthetic pigments, which again includes the following types: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E, and pheophytin. Students, after seeing this, please don't get worried. In our syllabus, we need to discuss about chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. But if you have any personal interest, sir, whether it is there in the syllabus or not, that is put it aside. But we wanted to know some additional information about it. then you please ask me personal level pe. I will send the information about chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E and pheophytin. But in this lecture may I am going to explain about only A and B. If you have interest, definitely you ask me. I will send the notes on this. Otherwise, I will make a separate lecture for chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E, and pheophytin. But in this lecture, I am going to focus only on chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. And the second fat soluble photosynthetic pigments are carotenoids. Again, these carotenoids are differentiated into two types, keratins and also xanthophylls. So keratins and also xanthophylls, these are the two types that are included under carotenoids. Okay. Now the second category is water soluble pigments. Water soluble pigments includes only one type, that is phycobilins. Again, phycobilins are of three types. Phycocyanin, in the name itself, ab dekho, phycocyanin. What is the meaning of cyanin? Blue color. So it is a blue color one. And yellow phycocyanin and phycoerythrin. So these are the three types that are included under phycobilins. And non-photosynthetic pigments like anthocyanin and anthocyanin, phytochromes, and also hematochromes. So these are various types of non-photosynthetic pigments, but we better focus only on photosynthetic pigments because in our lesson, in our syllabus, photosynthetic pigments are there. Okay. Now let us take one after one. Every photosynthetic pigment I will explain one after one. Okay. Now start. Chlorophyll A, the first one. You remember na? I just now told chlorophylls again divided into chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, C, D, E and pheophytin. Now I am taking the first one. Okay. Now, so this is chlorophyll A. Chlorophyll A, it is known as universal photosynthetic pigment, or it is called as a primary photosynthetic pigment, and it is present in all the plants except in some bacteria. And what is the color of it? It appears in bluish green colored. It is bluish green colored pigment. Whereas its third carbon, see, this is a structure. This structure, it consisting of, see, this is porphyrin ring, which is also called as a tetrapyrrole ring, which is called as head. See this portion, you please follow the arrow mark, then you will understand. So this is the head region, and this head region may, especially if you take the third carbon, so this is a third carbon. Ab dikh raha hai na? Just follow my arrow mark, then you will understand. So this is a third carbon, it consisting of methyl group. See, methyl group. See, exactly you can see, dikh raha hai na? See, CH3. That means it shows methyl group. Okay. And it consisting of phytol tail. See, this is phytol tail, which is made up of 20 carbons. Okay. Now this is the structure of the chlorophyll A. Now this chlorophyll A, it is insoluble in water and soluble in organic acids such as petroleum ether, and its chemical formula is C55H72O5N4 and Mg. So this is a chemical molecular formula of chlorophyll A, C55H72O5N4 magnesium Mg. Now the structure, see, if I don't tell also, yeah, basic understanding में आपको पता चलेगा कैसे दिख रहे हैं. It is more or less exactly नहीं, but more or less कैसे दिख रहा है, it is looking like tadpole. So that is the structure of chlorophyll A. It is a tadpole like structure which consisting of head and tail. So a head, and this head, it is called as porphyrin ring, which is also called as a tetrapyrrole. Now the tail, it is called as phytol. This is a phytol tail. Okay. And this phytol tail, it consisting of 20 carbons, and its molecular weight is approximately 893. Whereas absorption peaks, that means I just now told you, no, not just now, maybe 10 minutes back I told you, no, every pigment has its own capacity. With that capacity, it can be able to absorb some amount of sunlight, है ना? For example, some I called all the students for lunch. Now some student can be able to have 10 rotis, some students, no one can have 10 rotis because all can't become like me. Okay, I can eat even 10 rotis. That is a very easy thing for me. Some eat 3 rotis and some eat only 1 roti. See, I am feeding, you are all my children, I am feeding you all equally, but your capacity is alag alag hota hai. One can eat 3 rotis and one can eat only one roti. That means every photosynthetic pigment has its own capacity. According to its capacity, it will absorb the light of the visible spectrum. Okay, whereas the chlorophyll capacity kya hai, it shows its absorption peaks at 430 and 660. So these are the absorption peaks of chlorophyll A. Now we understood na. So chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B का ऊपर बहुत so many times questions are asking. So please read chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B the topics so clearly. Okay. Now, the next topic is chlorophyll B, which is also called as accessory or secondary photosynthetic pigment, and it can be seen in all the higher plants. And what is the color of it? It is olive green or yellowish green color. And this is a most important point. You have to notice this point. What is that? Here, the third carbon, it consisting of which group? You remember na? You just now I told it consisting of methyl group. Whereas if you take, this is the structure of chlorophyll B, as it is, everything is same. Then what is the difference? The third carbon, instead of this methyl group, it consisting of aldehyde group. That is the only difference between chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Okay. Now it is, I'm in terms of structure. Okay, it is insoluble in water and it is soluble in organic acids like 90% methyl alcohol, whereas its formula is C55H70O6N4Mg. So this is a molecular formula of chlorophyll B, and as it is, the structure of chlorophyll A and also chlorophyll B both are tadpole like structure, and it also consisting of porphyrin ring and also phytol tail. Okay, now its molecular weight is 907. Okay, whereas the absorption peaks is 455 and 640. So this is all about chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. But if you know the differences, then theory, if you know the differences, then you can be able to understand so clearly. That's why I prepared these differences also. By seeing this, you can understand very easy way chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Let us take one after one. What is the differences? Chlorophyll A, it is called as universal photosynthetic pigment or primary photosynthetic pigment, whereas it is called as accessory or secondary photosynthetic pigment. It is present in all the plants except some bacteria, whereas it is present in all the higher plants. It is a bluish green color, whereas it is olive green or yellowish green color. Whereas most important point, key point what you need to understand, the third carbon it consisting of methyl group, whereas here the third carbon it consisting of aldehyde group. If you want, I will show the comparison also. See, this is chlorophyll A, it is porphyrin head, and this is a phytol tail. See, this is the third carbon. See, the third carbon what it consisting of, the crina, it is methyl group, whereas here the third carbon it consisting of aldehyde group. That is the difference, but rest everything up you can compare also. You just stop this video for 2 minutes and you observe everything, it is same except the third carbon mein methyl and here the third carbon mein aldehyde. Rest everything is same. Okay, now it is insoluble in water, and of course this is also insoluble in water, whereas chlorophyll it is soluble in petroleum ether, whereas it is soluble in 90% methyl alcohol, and the formula here is C55 O72 H72 O5 N4 Mg, whereas here C55 H70 O5 N4 Mg. Okay, this is a molecular formula, whereas both are tadpole like structures, and these are molecular weight and absorption peaks. So I think by comparing with comparing chlorophyll A with chlorophyll B, it becomes very easy for you. Okay, now let us take one more, that means carotenoids. The next photosynthetic pigment is carotenoids. They are multiple colored, they are present in different colors: yellow color, green color, I'm sorry, brown color, red, orange, like that various colors that means multicolored pigments, okay, and they are also lipid soluble. I told you na, you remember, otherwise I'll show you also. Yes, see, both chlorophyll and also carotenoids, both are fat soluble. So that only I'm telling. These carotenoids are lipid soluble, fat soluble, okay? And very surprisingly, they do not require light for their synthesis. Bina light also they can happily get synthesized. Whereas they protect chlorophyll. Very important point. You have to remember this point, okay? Such an important point I'm telling you. They protect the chlorophyll from destruction due to photooxidation, and because they are protecting the chlorophyll molecule from photooxidation, it is called as shield pigment. One of the most important point, you have to remember this. So why carotenoids are called as shield pigments? Then you should be able to answer, because they protect the chlorophylls from the destruction due to photooxidation, because they are stopping photooxidation and saving the chlorophyll. That's why they are called as shield pigments. Of course, they are also called as protective pigments. Shield or protective meaning is same, so there is no problem. And they are also called as accessory pigments, whereas they act as accessory pigments as they trap the light energy, and they also occurs in chromoplast of flowers. That is the reason why flowers are present in various colors. Some flowers are blue color, some flowers are yellow color, some flowers are orange, red. कैसे इतना colors कैसे आ रहे? That is because of the carotenoids, okay? And this structure, it consisting of four terpene. That means because four terpenes are present, it is called as a tetraterpene structure, and each terpene, it consisting of 10 carbons, okay? And carotenoids, again they are divided into carotenes and also xanthophylls. Now let us take one after one, okay? Now, the first one is carotenes. The carotenes, they are the hydrocarbons which are having the molecular formula of C40 and H56. And basic keratin is lycopene. Lycopene means up daily खा रहे हैं. The easily existing, the most existing form of keratin, हम सब every day we are eating. How we are eating tomatoes na, and we are eating this chilies na. In that chili and also these tomatoes, the keratin form that you can see is nothing but a lycopene, okay? And these are isomers of lycopene, which are orange yellow in color, okay? And there are three main isomers of keratins. That means keratins, again they exist in three forms: alpha, beta and gamma keratins. But one thing you need to understand, beta keratin is the most common keratin that can be seen, okay? In animals also, this beta keratin, it is getting converted into vitamin A. And how important the vitamin A, I need not to tell you. Vitamin A is not there, so you can't be able to see also, because our vision, it depends upon two types of pigments, rhodopsin and also iodopsin. And both rhodopsin and also iodopsin, they are the derivatives of what? Vitamin A. That is the reason why you need to have leafy vegetables as a what I call food. Most of the, like, at least one day may you can at least have half a bowl of this leafy vegetables. But every day, see, even I am telling, I can't be able to follow this now, but almost every day you please have this what I call leafy vegetable as one of your what I call food stuff. Then you never get this eyesight ka problems. See it, you are such a small kids, 17 years pe chashma kya hai yaar? So it's thoda, you be health conscious also, have leafy vegetables, okay? Now these xanthophylls, and xanthophylls, they may be yellow brown in color, and they are oxygen derivatives of this keratins, okay? And in animals, carpus luteum, it consisting of lutein. That means xanthophyll only, it is present in lutein, okay? And some other examples of this xanthopylls are zeaxanthin, violoxanthin, cryptoxanthin, flavoxanthin, like that. It exists in various forms. Okay, you need not to worry about all these things. Okay, now let us take one more. Okay, phycobilins. This is a last photosynthetic pigment, students. It exists in red, it exists in red and blue green algae. Okay, whereas it again divided into three types. What are they? Phycocyanin, which is in blue color. Phycoerythrin, in the name itself I need not to tell, erythrin, that means you only tell red colored. Whereas yellow phycocyanin, that is bluish green, not exactly green, thoda bluish touch rahega. Oh, understand? So I can say it is a bluish green, I can say. Okay, whereas where they are present phycobilins kidhar, where we can be able to see, we can be able to see in red and blue green algae. Okay, whereas phycobilins are conjugated. What is the meaning of conjugated? They are tightly closed. Okay, they are tightly packed to the proteins. Because they are tightly packed to the proteins, they are called as phycobilly proteins, because they are having tight attachment with the proteins na. That is the reason why they are called as phycobilly proteins, or simply you can call it as billy proteins also. That's your comfort, you see. Okay, and pigments are closely associated with the thylakoids in form of small granules or microbodies. Because they are closely associated, they are also called as phycobilisomes. And in higher plants, the type of phycobilisome that you can be able to see is phytochrome, which is not, surprisingly, it is not participating in photosynthesis. Then why it must be present? Then why it must be present? It helps in stomatal movement, and it also helps in photoperiodism and photomorphogenesis. So these are the various functions that this phycobilins perform. Of course, phycobilins, they're also called as phycobilisomes. Okay, and what is their structure? Here, four pyrrole rings, they are connected in a linear fashion. That means straight line pe they are attached. So that is the arrangement of phycobilins. Okay, now let us take Gaidukov's phenomenon. What is this Gaidukov's phenomenon? It is also called as complementary chromatic adaptation or reciprocal chromatic adaptation. And this phenomenon, it occurs in blue-green algae. Now, what is exactly Gaidukov's phenomenon? It is one of the fantastic, one of the surprising characteristic exhibited by blue green algae. What is that? The the composition of photosynthetic pigments, it changes according to the situation where they are present. That means to absorb maximum amount of the sunlight, they can be able to change the composition of photosynthetic pigments. And this fantastic capacity, it is called as Gaidukov's phenomenon. Again, I'll repeat very simple way, I'll tell you. See, for example, if you go to polar regions, that means if you go to some what I call Himalayan regions, it will be very cold. है ना? Then you will change yourself. How you will wear thick padded shoes and also thick jackets, and hand gloves, and like that you are changing. Now, for example, if you go to a desert region, then if you wear this thick padded shoes and also such a thick coats, you will die. है ना? That's why how you will change. You will change according to that climatic condition. Now you will wear cotton what I call dresses. Why? Cotton mein that comfort will be there, and the absorption of easy absorption of the sweat will be there. That's why it gives more comfort in the high temperate regions. Whereas in what I call less temperate regions, you need some sweatshirts or some coats, है ना? That means how you are changing according to your comfort. Like that, according to the for the maximum adaptation of light, to get the maximum amount of light, they can be able to change the what I call pigment composition. That ability of the blue green algae to change the photosynthetic composition, that only it is called as Gaidukov's phenomenon. Now you understood na? And this is all about photosynthetic pigments concept. Hope you understood, but still if you have any doubts, you please ask me, then I will answer all your questions. Okay, thank you so much.